So we know that science keeps saying we live in the third dimension. And yet we know that there's psychic phenomenon, there's spiritual experiences that are happening all day and night. You know the spiritual experiences you're having. You know when you're waking up in the middle of the night. You know what you're seeing in your mind's eye. You know that you feel the tingling all over your skin, the prickles, the burning, the itching, the vibrating waves of energy. You feel a presence near you, but you can't see them through your human eyes. Well, this might sound really strange, but bear with me. We actually live in the fourth dimension. That is life, not the third. And I know that that goes against your human logic. It goes against reasoning. It goes somewhat against science, but not really. See, I'm going to show you something, and hopefully that will bring it home for you. Quantum physics, yes, but absolutely spiritual alchemy. See, you have these psychic premonitions, right? You have these visions. You have deja vu. You have all of these messages coming in at you. You're receiving these statements. You're seeing faces. You're hearing names. And yet, human logic says it's impossible, that it can't be happening. But see, that part of you, that is the soul within your human, says, oh yeah, it's happening, and I'm okay with it. But yet that other side of you that says, well, we live in the third dimension, not the fourth. This is impossible. And you end up feeling like, am I crazy? What's going on? I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone. Well, you're not crazy at all. You have awakened. It's called spiritual awakening, but you have awakened to the veil. See, the spirit realm and the life we live in this physical plane is interchangeable. There is no jump over here and there's the spirit realm, and jump back over here and here is the life that we live in, which some say is the third dimension. Bear with me. I'm going to show you something that I think will bring it home for you. Check this out.
I'm at my desk, and the desk is a surface, okay? And I start putting pages down on the desk. I'm tiling them on the desk. And then I run out of room. I've exhausted the 2 dimensions of the surface of my desk. We have ways of accommodating this problem. And so we have page organizers that go upwards. So now when I don't have any more surface area of the desk, I can enter a 3rd dimension and put pages there. If you are an ant embedded in this 2-dimensional world of the surface of my desk, and you fill up the desk with these sheets of paper, the ant will say, there is no more room. And I say, yes, there is, watch me. And I take a piece of paper off the desk, put it in the page organizer, and according to the ant that's embedded in the 2 dimensions, that page disappeared. It disappeared into a dimension that ant does not have access to. What a brilliant invention this is. You can put practically an unlimited number of pages, far more pages above the desk than on the desk. So access to a 3rd dimension is an extraordinarily useful storage device. Watch what happens next. I now have my 3-dimensional room, and I'm filling it with boxes. Now I've run out of space to put the boxes. But now a 4-dimensional alien looks at us and says, I got this. Just move it into the 4th dimension. What are you talking about? And the alien comes in, reaches in, takes one of the boxes, and then the box disappears. Disappears. It went into a 4th dimension. So imagine a new storage system, we just go to Home Depot and buy a door. And that door is your portal to a fourth dimension. You open the door, put your boxes, close the door, and you look on the other side of the door, there's nothing there. So this is what's going on when you have access to higher dimensions. Now, there are things that happen in quantum physics that kind of defy our sensibilities. Like particles pop in and out of existence. They defy any rational attempt to understand it. Particles can be entangled with one another. A particle can be here, and there's a barrier, and it can spontaneously show up on the other side of the barrier at faster than the speed of light. All of this is just mysterious. So, who is to say that some of the mysterious things we are describing accurately, but don't otherwise make sense in a higher dimension? And these are just the manifestations of higher dimensional phenomena in our world. And that's an aspect of what these higher dimensional physicists are trying to establish.
So, what did you think? So, can you see why we are actually in the fourth dimension? See, those of us that are awake to the veil that has always been lifted, only sometimes people are waking up to it, and some people are naturals like me and probably you that just automatically were talking to what some people call aliens. Well, we've been talking to our ancestors all along, ascended loved ones, energies that we don't know by name. And these spiritual occurrences have been happening from the beginning of time. There's documented accounts that defy human logic. Just look at the Bible. Other spiritual sacred texts. Look at personal testimonials. All of this phenomenon exists within a certain dimension, yet we're able to experience it in this one. Check this out. And I really think if you're still skeptical, this will flip you.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching D News. Today I'm Trace. Get your brains ready. The new Christopher Nolan science fiction epic, Interstellar, was epic. It's a beautiful movie filled to the brim with so much science, and they explain some of it, but not all of it. So that's why I'm here. For example, they explained how a wormhole might look easy, but didn't explain the idea of higher dimensions as thoroughly as I would have liked. I was watching, and there were times when I got lost in just the massive quantity of science. So I figured, let's do some explaining. Dimensions of space-time are really complicated. Really, really complicated. We understand the first three because we live within them. We have mastered them even as babies. The first dimension is a point, a single point. Think of it as like a coordinate. If the whole universe was a number line from 0 to 10, one dimension would be like 6 or 3. You'd know exactly where that was in the universe. Two dimensions is also pretty simple. Two lines, two numbers. Maybe a 6 on the x-axis and a 3 on the y-axis. We now know where that is. We live in the third dimension, so we add another number line, that's the z-axis, and those three numbers tell us exactly where we are in space. In Interstellar, they get into higher dimensions. According to theoretical physics, string theory requires 10 dimensions. So we're only in 3, but physicists say that at least 10 dimensions exist. I know this is tough, but bear with me. So sticking with the coordinate system in space, let's think of you right now. Keeping it simple, you are at a latitude, a longitude, and an altitude. Those are three numbers that determine your three-dimensional location, right? What about your fourth dimensional location? The fourth dimension, in this case, we'll use time. A timeline would be the fourth line in our group. With 4 numbers, we know exactly where you are in 4-dimensional space. You're on top of a mountain on January 5th at 12:06 and some odd seconds. And moving any of those numbers shows a different location, anywhere in the past, present, or future, or anywhere in space. It's not too difficult to imagine so far, I hope. If you were a 4-dimensional being instead of a 3-dimensional one, moving along your timeline would be as easy as any other number line, just like walking down the road. So that being said, let's blow this out of the airlock a little bit. So try and imagine a world without linear time, where time is just another thing that you can move through like swimming or walking, moving backward, forward, easy. It's crazy, right? Now, what if you want to move left or right? That is the fifth dimension. What about up or down in time? Now you're in a three-dimensional place and you're moving around in time based on probability and permutations of what the three-dimensional spot could have been, is, was, or will be on different possible timelines. Quantum physics says that the fifth and sixth dimensions are the exploration of all of these possibilities and all the permutations of the choices made. Now,
So, did you hear what he just said? The fifth and sixth dimensions are all of these possibilities, and yet there's still a question of human logic, spiritual alchemy, the life that we live in, which is a total illusion. Over here, fourth, fifth, sixth, and beyond, which we are moving in freely. We are seeing other energies. We are experiencing connection with energy from the spirit realm all the time. It's not a proverbial door that opens. It's literally fluid. It's all energy. We're all energy. And yet it's so difficult for some people to see that science, quantum physics, says these dimensions exist. And the spiritual experiences are happening because they have termed it phenomenon. We know that we are vibrating on a higher frequency. We are receiving messages from the ethers. We are towers. See, you're the soul within your human, and your human definitely did not come first. You, the soul within her or him, did. And see, when you awaken to that fact that this whole life that you've been living is questionably a lie. Because you start awakening to seeing the living that you once didn't see. Because not only are you seeing it, you are seeing it through your spiritual sight, your mind's eye, your third eye. And you question, well, why have I never seen this before? It's just because the switch has happened. You have awakened to your untapped, unlimited potential. And before, you were vibrating in this lower dimension that human logic says is the third. But spiritual alchemy, spiritual guidance proves it's the fourth and beyond. See, our sixth sense, our spiritual sight, our sixth chakra, our mind's eye, we see it. We all have access. We all have access to lucid dreaming. We all have access to out-of-body experiences. We all have access to look inside of the spirit realm. We all have access and we receive communication from beings, energy, ascended loved ones, our ancestors, beings from other universes, other planets. Of course we do. We just have to choose to see it. All right, dear loves, what'd you think? Here's my very last point as to why we are actually living in the fourth dimension. When you hear me say, all right, spiritual superstars, make sure you type in your 4 ones, the opening of the spirit realm. Let's take a beautiful deep breath in and raise our vibration. What do you think that means? Well, let's break that apart. Typing in your 4 ones, what are you looking at? A symbol. You're looking at 1111. The opening of the spirit realm. 4. We are in the fourth dimension. We have already begun with the third. We are no longer there. We are very intelligent. We are very gifted. All of us possess spiritual gifts that God gave us. Divine Source, our Creator, Spirit. And when we raise our vibration and kiss our higher selves, as you often hear me say in our videos, what dimension are we vibrating in? What dimension are we ascending into? The fifth. And when we're there, we are able to kiss our higher self. We are able to vibrate on high with Divine Source and all of our spiritual team in the spirit realm, our ancestors, our loved ones, messengers of God, manifestations of the Most High. And we're able to see what we cannot see with our human eyes, because now we are using our spiritual sight and picking in or picking up from the sixth dimension, our mind's eye. So if we're seeing through our mind's eye that easily, then what dimension are we really vibrating in if we are taking a step up to get to that point? We're vibrating in the fourth dimension that we call life, and we're raising our vibration into the fifth dimension, and we are accessing our spiritual gifts in the sixth dimension, and we are able to be as one with other energies because we are energy. You are the soul within your human. You are a dual being, and your human did not come first. Although she or he is very real, we are all an illusion as much as this life that we live in is, yet as the soul within your human, we are all energy. And energy knows energy. Science has already proven that. Well, this book right here will help you figure out your spiritual awakening, will help you master it again and again and again. And for those that think you're crazy, gift them a copy of the book and let me speak for you. And I'll show them you're not crazy at all. You're actually very sane. Well, dear loves, thank you so much for supporting our mission. And if there's anything else I can do for you, comment down below. I would love to hear your thoughts on the information that I shared with you today. Stay safe and healthy, and be blessed. Mwah.